Hello again, Struck12. Today I'm bringing you a little bit of news about Torchlight Infinite, and it's about Frostfire Gemma, one of the classes, one of the heroes in Torchlight Infinite, who is kind of like your battle mage that can do close range AoEs and other spells and long range spells and attacks. The developers have teased some of her skills. In fact, they've teased a whole whopping 6 skills. Infused in both the power of fire and ice, Gemma is renowned across Leptis as the dual elemental sorceress. Built wisely as her hero traits complement her ice and or fire affinity. First off, they showed you something called Ring of Ice, which is an ice AoE spell that seems to have the modifier to cast around Gemma and on top of the player's cursor at the same time. It could be a support skill that lets her do either of those, or it could be the vanilla version of the skill, but it looks like a very nice ice AoE around the character. The next skill that they showed is Icy Blade. It looks like an ice melee ranged attack that sends out a swashing crescent horizontally in front of Gemma, not to be confused with the cascading ice spikes that you see in that same footage. So Ice Blade looks like a fun one, but it's not a long range one. Next up we have Ice Spike, which is a melee to mid-range projectile AoE attack that sends out a big icicle flying forward, and it looks like it shoots out a few smaller icicles on both sides of the big one. The smaller ones probably can be increased by support skills for extra projectiles, and another interesting thing we can notice is that there's an illusion or a clone replicating the spell, casting right next to Gemma for a double cast, but this also doesn't seem to happen every time. Next, what we've got is Splitting Firebolt, which is your simple fire projectile spell shooting out a fireball in a straight line that also seems to be affected by the multiple projectile support skill for 4 extra projectiles. The fireball also seems to explode on impact for an additional AoE splash damage, which you'll see why I'm mentioning this later. Next we have Scorching Beam, and no nuker mage is complete without a beam to win spell. A channeled straight line beam, a fiery goodness that melts mobs like a blowtorch does butter. Next we have Fire Shot, another straight line projectile attack that seems to be modified by the multiple projectiles support skill. What is interesting about this one is that the projectiles seem to be piercing. Unlike fireballs that used to explode on impact, the fire shot seems to keep traveling after hitting the enemy. There are no enemies behind this boss fight that they're showing us to confirm if that is the case, but it looks like a piercing mechanic. Keep in mind that it could be added via support skill, or maybe it's fire shot's vanilla behavior. One can only wonder. You can check the link in the description for this footage so you can watch it as much as you want with sound and everything. Keep it cool. Thanks for watching this. If you want to get notified when I upload more content for this or other Wooter and not so Wooter games, subscribe to my channel, click the bell button, and if you want to get extra emotes and badges, you can be a member, which is a payment that you can cancel at any time on my channel. Plus, additionally, I offer tutorials for Photoshop, After Effects and Premiere, just the basics, but you have to contact me for those if you're a member. Thanks again for watching, keep it cool, Struck12, and until next time.